We are here at Park City for the U.S. Nationals and the Huntsman Cup.
Some of the best skiers in the world are here.
It's a NORAM race, so there's the U.S. teams here and then a couple other countries with their teams, and then other Americans that race at the NORAM level in the U.S.
Yeah, we've got the best of the U.S. here to kind of figure out who's on top this year.
We've got 76 athletes in the national championships in the NORAM event this year.
This is a pretty challenging competition for all the different classes. The standing class that I'm in is a very tight class. We've got some of the better skiers in the world here, so actually better skiers in North America, I should say. So it's pretty good competition.
Everybody's a great skier that's here. We have a lot of new skiers and we have a lot of veteran skiers. And it's great, everybody's competing with everybody. We're all on the same team. There are a few Canadians and we're all friends, but yet we're all competing at the same time. It's great.
It's actually, it's all spectrums. Some athletes this is their first race. And for other athletes, this is the end of the season after a long World Cup. So I take it very seriously. Everybody here is, out there to win it.
It's good sportsmanship. We all cheer each other on, and we're all hoping for the best, and the better one does, the better another does. So, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
The fine line is we're friends until I go out of the gate, and then you're my competitor. So I'm trying to catch you and I'm trying to beat you. So the dynamics we have on the U.S. national team is pretty amazing. We've got a very tight group of male stand-up skiers, but everyone is really tight. We push each other, we make each other better, and I think it's going to show next year in Sochi.
The real thing is we're competing against the clock and we're competing against ourselves. So I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday, and there's all the girls are doing the same. So it's like whoever comes out on top is their best self, And so if you look at it that way, it's really not so catty, but it's great that we can all be friends and support each other off the hill and even on the hill. Everybody wants to ski their best. So
that dynamic is something that I've heard hasn't been on the national team for quite some time. So, my goal is to push the guy in front of me and for the guy behind me to push me. And then if I'm the guy in the front, I want those guys to catch me. So it's really helped us out.
This race is actually really important for some of these athletes, including myself. In alpine ski racing, we have a point system where we actually, with each race, get to knock off points from our overall score. And the least amount of points is what we're going for. So, and you have to have under a certain amount of points to actually qualify for the Paralympic Games. So a good result in this race is actually going to play a big part in qualifying some of these athletes for the Games next year in Sochi, Russia.
I think with Sochi coming up, it's weighing heavily. 3 years ago we were like, it's never going to be 2013, 2014, and now we have less than a year to go to get to Sochi. So I think the sense of urgency has definitely increased for everybody.
Yeah, for a World Cup competitor, this is a lower race in the big World Cup circuit. They're here to really support development. And for the development athletes, it's one of the biggest races of the year. Development athletes have had the last month or month and a half off to train for this, really worked their way up for the national championships, and it's a way that they can test themselves against the World Cup athletes. In the United States, we have a lot of athletes that train in different locations, Park City being one of them. And we have a lot of World Cup athletes that train with those programs. So on a daily basis, they get to train with the World Cup athletes when they're home and when they're not on the World Cup circuit. And then when we go to these races, they get to compete head-to-head against them. So it's great to let them know where they're at and where they need to go and be able to see the highest level of the sport within their own daily training and competitions.
Park City is just a phenomenal place to ski. I've had the opportunity to free ski here a few times over the last few years, and that's my favorite part of Park City. But CBs and Peekaboo are some very challenging race venues, so it gives us another dynamic of some of the courses that we don't have in North America. These are some of the more challenging ones.
I like how everything is so close. The lodge is right at the bottom of the hill. Spectators are able to see the course, and the hill itself is great. The slaloms start. I mean, although it's a little tough to get to, it's a good run. You have a good pitch, and then you have a long flat where you got to keep your speed. It's very technical. And then the GS, you have two good pitches and then another long flat, and it's great. It's a really good course to start racing, and it's a really good course to come back to. It's great all around.